Hey, Nathan here. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is going to be a very quick review of what happened in the futures markets today. So let's dive right in looking at the NASDAQ chart on a daily time frame. Last week, pretty interesting way to end the week. We had several days in a row with economic news, CPI, PPI. You can see on Thursday, we had a big drop from the all-time highs, which is this black candle here. We retraced more than 50% and then closed in the lower third of the previous day's candle here. And today, the NASDAQ ended up, I believe we ended just flat to slightly down, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. We closed right around 2602. But what's interesting to me is this candle, similar action as Friday, right? On Friday, we opened, we had a big push up and then a big push down towards the end of the day. Today, we open. I'm sorry. On Friday, we opened down here, big push up, and then we close. Today, we open here at 25.75-ish, big push up, and then push down. If we go down into a 5-minute time frame, and let me blow up this chart for us here. Here's our 5-minute. So on a 5-minute, really interesting things stand out to me. First of all, right at the open, we have this clearly, very clearly robotic type push to the upside. So this is algorithmic trading at its finest, right here, right in this area right here. You can see that it's a straight line up. And also interesting to me is that it's almost a straight line down, at least in terms of like, it looks like a V, right? So up, down. This to me is not very bullish. Frankly, when we have a day like this where it's like algorithmic and then we push all the way down, it's like, my goodness, not bullish at all. So the question that I have for the NASDAQ and other markets out there is, going back to a higher time frame, this push off this high here, push down from the high. It's really interesting, right? Is this the beginning of a larger retracement? Potentially, or is this move going to look something like this, where we made an all-time high, big retracement, and then we slowly started making our way back up? All-time high, big retracement, slowly start making our way back up. Someone that I used to work with, someone I look up to, who does this type of thing all the time, you may know who he is, kind of measure that move retracement down from there to there, and look at that. So here's something else that's interesting. This is just very basic, very basic technical analysis, right? What I did was we find this was at the time an all-time high. From here to here, high to low, we measure that just using a line just like that. It's really, I mean, ridiculously simple, right? Does that line up with this move? Like, is it the same length? Pretty much. And now look, we're making our way back up. So anyways, we'll see what happened. Today we ended up, again, I believe it was slightly down to slightly lower to just about flat on the day. And so, yeah, the question is, are we going to continue moving up, or is this the beginning of a larger retracement? Just looking at this, again, just we're going to repeat this one more time because this is super interesting right here. This was a recent high. From here to here, we measure it with a line, kind of bring it over to this area. And now, I mean, this lines up almost perfectly, right? So this could have been the low from this move, and now we just climb up and again hit new all-time highs. We will see what happened. Of course, there's a lot of things going on politically as well, and there's more economic news coming out this week, like there is pretty much every week. So, but it is the second half of the year now officially. So the start of Q3 and fresh beginnings. There's a lot going on kind of on a macro level, but especially with the election and politics has been a big part of the narrative, at least heading into this week. So that's the NASDAQ. Let's move on to S&Ps. S&Ps have been very similar to the NASDAQ in my opinion. So if we go over to our daily, Thursday, all-time high, move down, retrace. S&Ps, it was looking like S&Ps were going to make a new all-time high last Friday, but we did retrace and close right in this area here. And today, S&P had a, almost a flat day when all was said and done. But we did make a new high in the S&Ps today. So going to a lower time frame here so we can take a look at what this looks like. I like to look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute of the S&Ps, similar action in the morning, right? Algorithmic trading, bam. This is not a V right here, just a V. From here to here to here, boom, V, retrace, near VWAP, and then boom, push down. We take out these equal lows right here, which by the way, one thing that I really like to trade, one of the strategies that I enjoy that works quite well is when you see something like this where, so this is the overnight session, all this right here, right? Just grinding up, flat, down move that took out these lows from the overnight session, right? So the open is right here, 8:30. 8:30, we push higher, we push lower, take out the London session lows. I'm sorry, the recent, not the lows, the low lows over here, but the London lows, Asian session lows over here. The London lows are right here in this area. We move up immediately in the morning. This is the S&Ps again, the ES. Big push up in the morning, come down, take out these lows, and then we push back up. This is algorithmic buying right here. It's a V to the downside, double bottom right here. Double bottom. Look at this line. Okay. So at this point, the S&Ps, they were up like 30 or so points. People are thinking, traders are thinking, oh, it's a bullish day. There's going to be continuation, blah, 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 blah. But a 30-point move is rather significant in the S&Ps. It's a relatively large move. And so when we have this and then we retrace, we stall out and start making our way back to the upside. This blue line is the 8-period simple moving average. We move up above it right here, the 8, with this candle, move back down, and then we have this doji right here. So as soon as we see this little doji candle, this is a 5-minute chart, right? Like I don't use dojis all that much. It's just an interesting point to reference here because when we have a relatively bearish open in the first few hours of the day, big retracement, this is a clear area to me with this doji and then this big bullish candle on a 5-minute time frame. You see the doji, you see the big relatively large 5-minute candle to the upside. After the retracement here, we have support right here, 1 touch, 2 touch, so it's a double bottom, and then boom, you could trade off this. So when you see the doji and you see this candle, we can say, okay, this candle closed above the 8-period simple moving average. We could go long here. The risk is from here, 85.61, and basically you're risking, you got to put the stop below here, right? So if you're able to risk that much, terrific. I don't know the size of anyone's accounts looking at this. It's all about how much you want to risk. A mentor of mine, he risks 2 ATR often. He can support that type of risk, and so that's great. That's how it works. If you can handle that type of thing, then that works out. That works out perfectly. Go for it. But the idea here is kind of bringing this in for a landing. You can place a trade here. This is a strategy that I like to use. And so see a doji, see a big, a bullish candle. We closed above the 8-period. We tapped the 21 day simple moving average. What I would do here in this instance is I would wait to see if we come back and start getting into this area here, right? If there's a retracement off the 21 with a little touch, and then this close above the 21, you really should wait for this next 5-minute candle to close above the 21. If you're able to risk it and you want to get into this move a little bit earlier, you place your buy here and your stop below here, and then you can, you have a nice, 10-point move or whatever back up to VWAP. So that's the S&Ps. I feel like I always get into technical analysis when I do these reviews. Really not my intent, but that's just the way it is. That's one of the reasons why we're here, I suppose. So just sharing my thoughts on and kind of the way I look at the markets and the way I trade and the way I do the very simple technical analysis. Okay, so the Dow. This is the 5-minute chart. Let's go to an hourly on the Dow. I have enjoyed the way the Dow has been moving because it's been rather bullish and doesn't move as fast as the NASDAQ. Like it's more reliable, I would say. So the hourly on the Dow, we had a nice move off the 21 hourly this morning, straight up, really nice move, and then straight back down. But this 21 is more or less kind of holding support for the Dow right now, right? Holding support. And let's drop into a 5-minute. Here's a 5-minute. Today I took a trade somewhere in this area, and the reason being similar to the NASDAQ, right? We were straight up in the morning, straight down, and when you see this 5-minute candle close above the 21 after a reversal like this, you see this close above the 21, you can go long. And so you can go long, you can go up to this 50-day moving average, or I had a level up at 4,700. So I basically I was looking for the Dow to hit the high of the day again, but took a trade from this down this area, and I kind of caught a pretty good part of this move today. Here's gold. Gold on a 5-minute. Check this out. This is pretty cool. So here's the U.S. Open. This is VWAP. Look at how gold was holding VWAP all day. If you're a gold trader and you use VWAP today, congratulations. That's really awesome. Really good stuff. So we break up right from here. This is 12:30 a.m. Central Time. Steady measured move down, back up, back down. Nice bounce off VWAP there. Really nice. And then it's just holding VWAP, holding VWAP for the rest of the day. From here, where do we go? I mean, geez, we could just shoot right back up from here. Who knows what happened in this area? There was a lot of volatility in the market. I'm sure some people watching this know exactly what happened. I was long gold this morning. Didn't end up working out how I wanted it to, my few trades that I had on gold. But you could see something like this. If you see kind of the double bottom here, gold does make double tops, double bottoms all the time. So good strategy to implement and explore for yourself. Double tops, double bottoms on gold. Double bottom and it held VWAP, you could go long right here, right in this area. And then there's a cross. The 8 crosses back over the 21 right here. Beautiful trade this would have been, right? Number 1, double bottom. Number 2, gold holds VWAP. Number 3, you have a cross of the 8 over the 21. Bam. You could take that long. So that's gold and crude. I did take a crude trade today. Let's go into a bit of a higher time frame, 30-minute on crude oil. Crude moved down today. Crude moved down, everybody. And that is your analysis. No. So a few things stand out to me. Lower high here, right here. This is a bit of a lower high and then wham. So you could go short here in this area. Let's see what time, 8:30. I was looking at crude. Where was I looking at crude? And this, where are we at here? 10:30, right in this area. I was looking at crude. I went long in this area. And I did see, it wasn't like an A+ setup by any means. I saw this and, said to myself, hey, like this is like an area of resistance here. But I wanted to see if we could, with this move to the upside, where was this? This is 9:30, 10. It was in this area here. We didn't even get back up here. I went long here and we didn't really go anywhere. So I took a small loss on crude there. I don't trade crude very often. I am still learning how to trade crude. But as you can see, this is the 50-day moving average on a 30-minute time frame, this red line. Crude respected it right here, kind of hung out around VWAP. So that's crude. I know that was pretty weak analysis right there on crude. But again, I don't trade it very often. I did place a trade on crude today and took a small loss. So one other thing, let's see here. Never mind. We'll have to save that for another time. Okay, let's wrap it up here. So, violently unchanged. Some friends of mine like to say today was violently unchanged. Pretty steady kind of grind higher in the morning and then push down in the afternoon, take out some recent lows, then a little bounce towards the end of the day. So we'll see what is happening the remainder of the week. What we're going to be looking out for as well is going to be, let's see, tomorrow we have retail sales. What else is big? Big news. I thought we had a Fed decision this week. I'm just looking at the Powell spoke today. That may have been what the volatility was from. You know what? Looking at the economic calendar, it's a pretty light week. We have jobless claims on Thursday. Other than that, it's pretty light on the economic news front. So, take that with a grain of salt, right? We might grind higher, might continue to be violently unchanged and just move sideways. Who knows? Might move lower. How about that? The market's either going to move higher, lower, or sideways. Light bulb. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you all had a great day and really, really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much.